Okay, we are live. Monkey, can you post the links, please, in the GDSL chat?
Sure, 1 second.
Great.
Okay, so this is going to be Husky comeback and Rahima Turdieva.
Yes. So this is round of 32. So after the group seeding stages, and this is best of 3 game. So we have Terran Zerg Protoss versus Zerg Protoss Terran. So Monkeygurly, what do you think? Who has the advantage here?
Matchup wise, I feel like the right side team has the advantage. I'm not sure who will actually execute their race matchup properly or to the best of their abilities. Well, we'll see what happens here. But I do think that the right side team for this particular match will have a much stronger advantage.
Why do you think they have matchup advantage here?
So they have the PVT, sorry, PVZ with the PT stack here. Um,
Yep.
so Kill Me Not, if he executes his stalkers properly, should be able to blink back here. Repto has the opportunity to lose his wave here, so it'll allow Kill Me Not to blink back, but we'll see if they pull off a different kind of strategy.
Yes, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen.
It's always interesting to watch people who don't play a lot of in-house play against each other. Because a lot of times they do manage to pull off strategies that, we're not used to seeing. It's still exciting to watch, but um,
yes, you never know. You never
very
know.
interesting. Yes, exactly.
Killmod has a weirdly long loading screen, so he may be dropped. So we may need to restart the game.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, all
Yep,
good.
he's here. So we are all good here.
Okay, what do we see? We see
All right.
Link
So
Bane.
far we have no T2 from either team.
There's a Link Bane versus Terran with Protoss before. What do you think about that? No T2 from either of the teams.
So I've actually made this mistake before of making Ling Banes versus a pre-Protoss. If you end up running into the Protoss prior to your wave, your Banes will just die, and it's devastating. If you can manage to keep a push without having that Protoss, it'll be okay. I mean, the issue is the other team also has Ling Banes, so your Ling Banes will just die. But at least it's the following, following wave and not your current. But very interesting that we have not seen a T2 yet. Oh, it looks like green is going T2 now.
Silencer's going, yes. We had one famous brave. Oh, there's Reaper grenades. So we have one famous brave sentry scout.
Oh, so you mentioned that there's a Ling Bane with a following the toss.
That was
There's
for purple.
Yeah, there's also a Ling Bane against the toss, which is interesting.
Yes, I kind of have a bad suspicion about Link Bane versus Protoss.
Yeah,
Due to
that's
the fact that strong Protoss is usually gonna have either Stalkers or Archons in this scenario.
Yeah, and even early on when they make sentries, your bands will just die to this hallucinations.
We'll see where this goes. Okay, we have Sentry Hallucination. We don't have any upgrades for the Stalkers besides Blink. Sentry Hallucination Archon pretty much just tanked all of the Banelings. And we have 9 Stalkers left over to stack with Protoss.
Yeah, so Kill Me Not is taking advantage of the Stalker PT stack here.
And here we see that 3D stack is gonna clear anything that Protoss is gonna throw at 2-minute 30 mark. Doesn't matter if it's adepts or stalkers. Stalkers may have a bit better
Yeah.
chance, but yeah, it's
Ooh, the adepts
gonna
are
be
kind
hard.
of risky too, because adepts are not so great against stalkers. So this is not looking good for the top team right now.
That's very true. It's gonna
Now,
be
with that
very,
being
very,
said,
very
though,
hard from this point.
yeah, those Ling Banes are actually okay now that he's not having to fight a pre-wave here.
The biggest problem what I see here is that, like for the bottom team, if they lose a wave, Protoss can blink back and utilize that. But for the top team, the
Yes.
problem is if they lose the middle and they start leaking over to their side, there's nothing they can really do because all the units are very vulnerable versus that.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. If you look at yellow and purple, it's not your typical formation for build.
That's true.
Whereas like red and orange are definitely, you know, front, back, and front to catch each other. And that
But
was a quick cannon. I mean, I kind of expected that with the PT stacking abilities. But also the bottom team did utilize their stack to their best potential.
yes, seems like the bottom team is having a grip on this team, on this game. Let's see what kind of switches top team has prepared for this game, just in case if they get pushed. So what kind of ideas they may have to push back, because they're gonna need something if they want to push back the middle, because doing the same thing over and over is not gonna help. So they have to have some kind of a strategy. Okay, what do we do now? Do we go Liberator? Do we go Siege Tanks? Do we go Stalker Disruptor?
Yep.
They should have a plan now. We see first gas as well from Shiz.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to mention too, is that we did not see anybody in this game instant gas at the start of the match. So that was really good.
Yes, that's a good improvement. Good improvement. So we see more roaches, we see 2 queens. Roach is gonna be pretty good, just tanking a bit of a damage and clearing out a few of the hydras. Since it's not the original wave, it's alright.
Now keep in mind, we're only 5 minutes into the match. Even though the cannon is down, that does not mean the top team cannot come back.
That's so true.
The top team still has plenty of time to try to, well, not, I shouldn't say plenty of time, but still has time to think of a plan quickly and try to stack to kill them.
We see a Raven, we see T2, we have 2 upgrades on the bio from Shiz.
Now 3 medevacs, what do you think about medevacs? Do you think it's good for stacking at this point, or do you think it's too many?
Well, after Terran, there's a Zerg. So if they manage to save the medevacs, it's gonna help to the Zerg wave. Yeah, question, should 3 is the right number? Not sure. Maybe start with 1 and get a Liberator. Or get like 2 and get a Liberator. So basically you want to keep as much medevacs alive. You have 2 left over. It's not bad. But I think you need a Liberator and a medevac. So the Liberator can stall back the anti-air units a bit, and medevacs can charge back and heal the Zerg wave already. But that's like very nuanced, so I don't think it's really gonna make a difference. But definitely medevacs are one way how to try to come back in the game.
Oh yeah, I definitely think medevacs are good.
And since there's a really high number of Reapers and Marauders, I would actually get more Queens versus for yellow.
Now we
Because you
do
can
see
utilize
Shiz with a
Queens with
Liberator, and it does
medevacs.
look like he is microing it. Let's see here.
Is it micro?
When it was further back, it looked like it was microed. I will have to check on the next wave.
Okay.
But the fact that he already has a Liberator out before the other team is going to make it more difficult for the other team to push back.
That's very true. But the one thing about liberators is that if the opponent team has a liberator and you bring your own liberators, they are not gonna run forward. So the opponent's liberator can actually help you stack your own liberators at the base.
That is very true also. Oh, okay. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I can't tell because when I try to micro libs, it gives me an issue on the server also.
Yeah, the ping is usually a problem with liberator sieges.
Okay, so this isn't looking too bad right now.
Okay, Lynx died. 2
But
siege
imagine,
tanks.
so imagine here if Akira had some Liberator. This would look really beautiful right now.
Some liberators with mutalisks would be a very strong combination here.
Yes, for sure.
We don't see any disruptors from Kilmonot.
Yeah, I also think Rickster could use disruptors as well to try to save the previous wave.
So there's a small stack, 3 medivacs that can heal up the adepts for a small period of time, and then we have a lurker with range.
Okay, and let's see if those libs die early on. Okay, this is not looking bad at all.
This is looking
Let's see
very
if they
good.
can clear this.
Yes, I think they can.
Ooh, so Shiz got a ghost.
The immortals
That's
are the
also
ones who killed
interesting.
all the marauders.
Okay, look. So we have a nice stack here. Let's see if they can
Blink
push
forward, blink
back
forward,
this
blink
middle.
forward. Ah!
Oh no. But we still have a stack here, so let's see if they can push this.
Yes, the siege tanks unfortunately are sieging and unsieging
Oh
and not doing
no.
any of the damage.
Yes, they need to scan. They need to scan this. Scan.
They need to scan before the lurker starts hitting banelings.
Yes. Scan. Okay, so they got the lurker. So this stack is looking really nice here. Let's see if they can clear this. I think if they can clear this, they'll be in much better shape.
Yes, stalkers are pretty weak against siege tanks. Very good. Okay, I'm very impressed.
Very nice. Like I mentioned too, like once they start pushing back, their Zerg will end up hitting the toss wave, which is going to be devastating for their Zerg also. So
Yeah.
what a nice comeback by the top team right now. Very impressed here. See, and now we see the Banelings just running into Immortals,
And siege tanks are still there.
yes.
I would love to see if Rickster uses his stalkers a bit more defensive mode, trying to protect the siege tanks and more key units. It would be very good to see.
Yes.
But I think even without that, they're still gonna kill the bunker in next wave or this wave. They need detection versus the lurker, of course. Especially now there's a DT and Disruptor that's gonna shoot and kill the infestor. Disruptor is not
Yeah,
shot,
this is good.
so it's charged, but you can shoot it, but it's not utilized. This happens when you turn it off
Oh
and forget
no.
about it.
Yes. Yes, I have done that many times. It's very sometimes it can be very difficult, but
There's the
that's
blink
what
forward.
makes the difference.
Nice.
There we go. Okay, perfect. So we have a bunker here, a cannon. Very nice.
But they need to scan those lurkers. They cannot
Yes,
afford.
that lurker is just taking doing all the just having free shots at their units. Luckily, green does have ravens now, so
All the ravens are clumped up though, so they're not gonna catch that top
okay.
corner.
Now it is very important for Akira to start getting some liberators.
Yes, Liberator is gonna be devastating versus those Archons. And if the Archons are down, then Link Bane is gonna clear out the Adepts, and then Hydralis clear out all the Stalker Immortal.
Now, if Kill Me Not had had more than one disruptor, oh, and like you said, it's not shooting again.
Yes, in a key moment, it's not shooting, it's devastating. He's gonna watch the replay and gonna be catching his head.
Oh no.
Okay, there's a scan. Very good. They notice that there are too many ghosts. They need anti-air versus libs. They need
Yes,
Voiders,
the liberators could become a
ASAP.
problem for the bottom team. I mean, for the top team, sorry.
Yes. They need Voiders ASAP to kill the Liberators. Or they need to turn off the Stalker Blink Micro and Blink.
But this
the
is
libs.
definitely looking better for the top team.
Yes. So there's 7 siege tanks. So it's 2,100 minerals killing out the units.
Okay, so there's a disruptor. I'm not sure if it was worth it to shoot it at that one tank, but disruptors are good. Now, one thing I do see that about Silent Storm is he does have a very interesting formation, but when his wave comes out, it does make a nice concave around the toss wave. So, um, it's everything seems to be working out here.
It's still a bit risky. I would not feel very safe in this situation until you push like in the bunker area.
Oh, and they're not scanning again. Oh no. Oh, there
There's
we
an
go.
observer. There's an observer.
Okay, okay, got it.
They kill the medevacs and then they
But
gonna
this is what I was mentioning earlier is where the Lings and Banes will just get, wrecked by the
Protoss. Yeah.
Immortals here.
Protoss are pretty good at absorbing baneling damage. Pretty much all the units can take it for days.
What an exciting match we have here. And as fast as the top team pushed them back, the bottom team could easily push right back again.
Oh, they are corruptors now, so it's gonna be harder. They're getting anti-air units. With every wave, it's getting harder and harder for the bottom team to push back. Especially with Link Bane.
Yes. And there was no siege on the libs.
I'm curious if the ping is maybe the issue, since I know that at least one player is from Brazil here.
Well, the thing is, I don't know if it's a ping issue necessarily, because he doesn't seem to be even auto sieging. It seems like he's trying to kill the air with his liberators. I'm not positive. But even when there's ground units around, I have noticed that the libs choose to attack the air, which makes me believe that he has it turned off. But he did save the disruptor for this very, very
shot
nice.
was devastating. I think that would actually be turning the game here.
7 kills on each disruptor.
Let's
what
see the immortals. They're scanning the lurkers. The disruptors may recharge. They recharge.
Oh, and now we have a stack here by the bottom team. Okay, they do need to scan. They need to scan those lurkers.
There are no void rays from Rickster versus those libs.
Oh my goodness, what a battle here.
No anti-air, not enough anti-air.
Okay.
Okay, barely with the last stalker he killed that liberator.
The top team managed to hold that, but it is looking bad for them right now.
Yes, they have to be very, very careful what they do now. They cannot afford any gases. Yellow's going T3. I think that's... It's 50 minutes of games, he has to do it, but it's kind of very risky.
If he can manage to pull it off, though, it'll be very good for their
He needs
team.
to spread his units. His infestors are just attracting all the disruptor shots.
Oh no, this is going to be devastating. Oh no.
The Liberator actually cleared out some of the Protoss wave. But it's not enough. I don't think it's enough. There's 2 lurkers, 4 immortals. There's disruptors recharging. I think this is trouble. This is big, very dangerous.
Oh my goodness, what are we seeing here?
Lurkers are still killing. 10 kills, 9 kills. Liberators are shredding because there's no void rays to clear out.
Oh no! So the bottom team has taken the middle back here.
Protoss is going tier 3. I really disagree with that decision.
Here comes Akira with some libs. Let's see what he can do with those. Oh, the Repto already has corruptors though.
Too many siege tanks.
This is not looking good for the top team now.
I think the key thing here was the disruptors killed half of the Zerg's wave, half of the Silent Storm's wave.
That was
positioning is not optimal. Like his hydralisks are clumped up and juicy for disruptors.
Oh, and now we have 3 carriers. I didn't even notice if Kill Me Not was saving there.
Yeah,
oh no, a Colossus. Colossus versus carriers, not
versus
gonna
carrier
be so
lib.
good.
Because yeah, it was very it was looking very promising, and then some major strategic mistakes were made. But yeah, definitely an entertaining game. That's for sure.
Yes, for sure. And it's not necessarily over yet. the bottom team does have a strong advantage based on unit comp, but if the top team can manage to try to stack again and start building the correct units to counter, we can definitely see a push around again. We're 18 minutes in, and not neither team has had middle the entire game. I feel like it's pretty split evenly. So let's see how the values are for each team here.
They may stack with the help of the planetary fortress here. But yeah, the problem, what I see, the Protoss doesn't have any anti-air. Like basically it's Immortal Colossus and just Tempest, and there's like three carriers, a Tempest, and then after that
Yeah, I
comes
mean
Liberators, and yeah,
the unfortunate part is he
it's...
kind of needed it to push while they were pushing, but he did not react fast enough
He doesn't
for
need
when.
Colossus at all, this Protoss, they're
No,
difficult.
not the Colossus. I meant the
Yeah.
Immortal and.
Mm.
Okay, so we have green needs to scan ahead. Oh no.
There's nothing to kill. Like all ground units are dead.
Oh, you're right. For some reason I thought I saw some.
So we see
Okay.
she's going tier 3. Oh, there's no scan. Oh, that's devastating.
No. Yeah, so like I was mentioning the other day, even if you have an overseer or any kind of unit, you do need to still scan ahead. Units ahead, ground units that are running ahead cannot see lurkers, and they can just kill your entire army while you're not paying attention or realizing that they're there. But this is not looking good anymore.
Yes.
Green does manage to have some Thorzal. Let's see if he can get a
Yes.
stack here.
If there's Vipers that could... Vipers are all in the back. Oh no. Basically with Vipers you can pull back your own teammates' units, so if the Thors are built in the back from green, then yellow can try to snatch them off with Vipers, but if green is front and Vipers are in the back, that's never ever gonna happen, so we're gonna see...
Yeah, so you know what I've noticed is that Silent Storm does have a decent combination of units, but I think the placement could be a little better.
Mhm. So we have counter carrier.
Okay, so we do have counter carriers, and we do still have a Viper that's dead. Bottom team's value is very much higher than top team right now.
Yes, they gassed very early as well, after they killed the cannon. And I think they had middle income for more time. Yeah, this is an interesting game. Like I kind of want just to watch, don't want to comment it too much.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Kilman not really could benefit from tier 3 here, plus 3 on carrier, since he has already 5. So many immortals. So Liberators have T3 from Shiz. I have a bit of a lag spike. Just avoid that.
Yeah, I do too. I feel it.
Had to close down some apps in the background. Okay, we see Brewlords.
We do need a scan here again. Scan.
Yes. Okay, there's a
There we
scan.
go. Very beautiful.
Okay, there's a bit of small stack, but since it's Protoss Carrier Tempest, I don't think the Brewlord Viper is really gonna matter. Really need Void Race from Brixer. Void Race, Void Race, Void Race. To clear out the carriers. Okay. You have 3 leaves, you have 2 lines of carrier coming in. Oh, so, apologize, Corruptor. Quite a lot of Hydralisks, quite a lot of Lurkers. All the units you need to do damage.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the broods were necessarily a good idea here, especially since Red already had that many carriers in Tempest.
Yeah, the fight was interesting. Like 10 minutes ago when we were fighting for the middle, like just if Yellow had a bit of a better positioning of his units, like spread out Hydralisks, Swarm Hosts, Seldon Festers, then and Protoss had a bit more anti-air, starting Void Race and and having a bit of a better Blink Stalker micro, they could push harder, and the bottom team could not push back anymore with the Link Bane versus Protoss League. So they definitely had a chance to take this game, but so far seems like the bottom team's gonna close it down. They're not gonna let this one go.
Yeah, the hard part about this one was it was whoever had the mid had the better advantage as far as the units popping out because of the Zerg positioning. But now that the bottom team has had that income advantage and has all the right units right now, it's going to be more difficult to come back at this point.
And of course, the mineral difference is insane at 25 minutes and early first gas.
Yes.
They
Now we
just
got
simply
T4
they
coming
just
up,
simply
and
have more units.
yep.
And in StarCraft, mathematics has big meaning here. So definitely, pushing team could benefit from +3 attack on the units at 25-minute mark. We have +3 here. Yep, almost everywhere.
Yeah, especially with past the 25 minutes when everyone gets T4 and units start moving faster, it becomes more and more difficult to come back. So this is going to be rough for the top team. In fact, this could be... Oh, not quite yet.
Yeah, the lurkers are not getting scanned again. Yeah, so even if they push from the planetary fortress, like using planetary fortress help to push a bit back, then they just die when the planetary detection and help runs out.
Yes. And because the toss is always having to fight the other toss, those immortals will continue to just
Suicide.
run under the carriers, yeah. And it will always allow these two to stack, so.
Yes, and she's getting all the correct units. He has a lot of towers, couple of liberators, siege tanks. So basically, what he needs to do is just get more Thors, get more Sea Shanks, and that's pretty much it. Get some Vikings as well, and that seals the deal. Yes, I see Raptor getting blue darts. I disagree with that decision strongly. It's gonna help the opponent's team stack at the planetary. So when you're pushing in 3v3, the blue darts is in very rare cases the answer, and that's usually when you don't have Thors involved and you don't have other units involved. But it's better to spend the 375 minerals on like a Viper, so you can use Blinding Cloud or Parasitic Bomb or Hydralisks or Mutalisks or Corruptors, something that is a killable unit, a DPS unit. So yeah, that's the problem. Like Protoss gets in the middle, he meets Terran, and Terran with all the T3 units just too strong for Protoss to do anything.
Yeah, the red is just splitting Rickster's wave here.
We don't see a second gas from neither of the teams, which is actually quite impressive. Like what we saw before is the forward pushing team usually gets like second and third gas relatively easy, and we saw one or two games that one of the teams actually lost because they gassed too early and then they lost the middle at 18-minute mark and lost the game at 19. So there,
Yes.
everybody's playing cautiously and just not over investing.
Yeah,
Let
which is really good. That means people are watching replays, watching other teams play,
yeah.
and realizing that they've made mistakes when they've gassed.
Yes, and I just checked the vision of the players, and they actually scanned each other's gases. Like, top team scanned the bottom team's gas, and bottom team scanned top team's gas.
Very good.
One tip to the players who come to play in the direct strike. We usually suggest to zoom out completely, so you can have a bit of a bigger vision field, so you can see more of the units and you can macro better. As you can see here, almost none of the players are zoomed out, so it's very hard to play. Only Recto has zoomed out. So with the zoomed out position, you can see more. You can have a bigger point of view. You can micro better disruptors and liberators. So usually we suggest to everybody who is playing, first thing you do, you zoom out. So we're closing into the finish of the game. It's 31 minutes, so the T map limit is 40 minutes in case the planetary or Nexus doesn't die in 40 minutes. But since the planetary is getting damaged and everybody's getting their T4 upgrades, I see the game finishing up in the next minute or two. Especially with those siege tanks and Tempest and everything.
Yeah, the planetary fortress will always help protect you only until a certain point. Once your units get overwhelmed in a matter of time.
Planetary Fortress does AoE damage versus ground units, but it does only single unit damage versus air units. So usually the Mutalisks carriers are such unit that kills the planetary. Disruptors are very good unit. Marauders, Immortals. The best and most fun way how to finish the game is with disruptors, of course.
Yes, many people don't realize that you can shoot your disruptors at the planetary fortress if you micro them.
Okay, so the Lurker is gonna retarget, Marauder is gonna touch the planet, and that's GG.
Very good game.
GG, well played. We have the first game, so we wait until the teams schedule the second game, and we have a next one.
Now for this game though, I do have to say that the same team has the advantage here.
Mm, yes, I would
Left
say
side
so.
team.
If Reptile goes T2, and he makes sure that Akira wins his wave, then Kilomot with Stalkers could blink back. That is, of course, assuming that they have proper openers to open the games.
Yes.
Okay, we see Stalkers from Kilmonot. That's very, very good. And we see Zealots from Rickster. And Reptov goes comfortably Link Bane because he knows there's no Protoss before him.
Now, Rickster's Zealot opener is not that bad, but he does have to go T2 if he's gonna go Zealots.
Technically, he could just do Zealots for the first 2 waves and then go T2. But it's still very risky. Like, if he runs in a cannon, the Stalkers blink back behind the cannon, then the Zealots get DPS down. Okay, and this is where... Okay, good charge. There's a blink, so the bunker is gonna help out to DPS down the Zealots. There's no armor, no attack yet. And this is where the problem starts.
Yes.
Akira's going T2. Okay.
Now this is quite interesting. We are seeing Reapers versus Zerg.
Usually we don't see Reapers versus Zerg. Because
But we
Reapers
also
are quite
normally don't see 2 Queens and a Hydra as an opener versus Zerg either. So let's see how that plays out actually.
And I see that Akira, his wave is all clumped up versus Link Bane, which is gonna be painful to those Marines. More Zealots is the answer from Rickster. More Stalkers is answer from Kilmenot. To be honest, I like Kilmenot's position way more. He should blink almost like the way would be the perfect blink. He blinks almost all of his Stalkers and blinks one forward. Then he distracts the Zealots and can save more than 4 Stalkers. Let's see how many he saves.
I think Kilmenot actually
3,
has
3.
I think Kilmenot actually has his Stalkers on auto blink. So he is manually blinking them, but some of them are managing to blink in random directions, which later on could be bad for him if he's trying to stack Stalkers at the bunker. But we do see Akira here with 2 Banshees.
Oh, actually, Banshees could be a trouble.
Yeah, did we see anybody on top team go T2 yet? Oh, wait, we do have
yes,
purple at T2, yes.
Yes, we have T2 and purple.
But
the Banshees are gonna make sure
oh,
the Stalkers
no, wait,
can
is this bunker gonna, is this cannon gonna survive here? Oh, no.
Zealot's gonna tank it.
Okay, so this is not looking too bad here.
And lose almost all of the HP. But the problem is that the Stalker's gonna blink back and then I have detection.
Okay, see, this is what I was mentioning, the auto blink. I'm not sure how I feel about auto blink in this situation. I mean, I guess it worked out in for this scenario.
Nope. Auto blink is suboptimal. It's better than not having a blink, but it's still not the best strategy you can utilize or tactic.
Yes. A whole lot more Stalkers could have been saved there if there was no auto blink.
But
wait a minute, do we have a turnaround here? Wait a minute, like
she's decided to go for siege tank instead of more bio.
Now the queen's gonna tank all the banelings, and yellow's going to be in trouble. Now I'm not sure of the positioning of the Hellbats behind.
Yes, he needs
like that.
He needs to replace Hellbats with Marines there, like Marines in the position where the Hellbats are and Hellbats where the Marines are.
Okay, but now Kilmenot has a stacking advantage here. So
he get an armor.
But we do see Rickster with 2 Immortals now.
That's very good. Immortals very good. He needs +1. +1. Okay, he has. Kilomot doesn't have +1 armor, so the Zealots are doing shredding. Because Zealots do double attack, remember guys. Siege tanks are behind, so that's very good for the pushing team.
I also think that the siege tanks were a little early.
Depends how many Protoss Stalkers there are. If there's no Stalkers, siege tanks are too early, but if the Stalkers are there, then it's enough, then it's fine.
And again, these banelings are going to
get fungled. So there's a leaked infester killing the
Link Bane.
Oh
no! So now we have corruptors that are just flying past.
I don't like corruptors in this area. They are too expensive and very
Oh
single.
no, I know the top team is going to lose their bunker.
Yes,
What
okay.
are we seeing here?
I smell a three game series here.
Oh my goodness. Now, here's the interesting part. Both teams decided to go 2 gas each. I'm not sure if that was a great idea for both sides, but we'll see what happens here.
3 gas on the
What an
defending team.
exciting.
The gas are definitely too early, I think, for the pushing team. I would rather use the bunker money to solidify your lead to get like the unit that you really need. And but yeah, it's still okay. But I would rather be more conservative and just wait like 1 or 2 extra waves so you get that extra unit that you need, like a disruptor or +2 attack
I think
or
for this
a
game,
key unit.
the top team is getting a little ahead of the game. Like in terms of units, like normally you wouldn't see corruptors this early, or that many siege tanks this early. So I think they're like prepping, for later game, the later part of the game, I should say.
My guess would be he got corruptors to the answer to the banshees. But the problem with the corruptor is, as a unit, it's too expensive. I would rather have just hydralisks or one mutalisk and the rest of it hydralisks, because they have superior DPS and they have cheaper cost per unit, and they can actually do damage versus ground, which corruptor cannot. So basically, it flies forward and suicides to the bunker in these
Now
level
Richter
1
does seem to
bullets.
love his immortals, and it's actually paying off this game.
Silencer has T3 on hydralisks. I would say it's around at least 5-6 minutes too early. But it's
Oh
been
wow,
working
I
out.
did not even notice he was going T3 here.
I did not either. I just clicked on it and saw it's +3. And Akira is +0-0 on bio, which is as well, I don't really like it. So there's a lot of disbalance going on in the team. So one teammate is over tiering up and overtaking, another teammate is not taking enough.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference though, the reason why they are pushing this game is because if you look at their unit comps, they are actually making a good unit composition versus the other team, which allows them to make little risky decisions like that. But later on,
Oh, the
it
Immortal's
could.
gonna clear out all the siege tanks. Sorry for interrupting, but it's just too
No, no,
needs to
no.
be
Yeah, so
mentioned.
that's what I was mentioning about the immortals. Like he loves his immortals, and they are paying off this game.
Yes, because there are no liberators.
This is a complete turnaround from last game, from what I was expecting to see here.
I'd love to see like at least one lurker there, just to help with those Link Bane.
Yes, for sure.
And I'd love to see +1 from Akira, like Audi +2 actually. And a
Yeah,
liberator.
Akira has no upgrades on any of his units.
Yes, he's going full unit. His mineral value of army should be pretty high. So Protoss is going T3, like red Protoss is going T3. I really disagree with that, since I would say the best way how to come back in this game would be with these chapters. But okay, I take that back. Since the Protoss, pink Protoss is full ground, only Zealots and Immortals. If the red Terran does carrier switch now, the pink Protoss just dies.
That is true.
That is with assumption that the Protoss doesn't clear the planetary fortress with only ground units. That's the risk of
I
going
also
carriers.
Oh, so green is also going tier 3 right now. Yeah, so with that being said also, purple could also do the switch as well.
Let's see if they manage to do. I'm gonna keep a tap on the resource tab. He has 700. Okay, green has 1,000 minerals. Akira has 1,000 minerals. I
Yep,
don't
Akira
understand
just finished
that.
his tier
That's
3
very
just
risky.
now.
He can lose the game like that. He's not in a position to be confidently holding 1,000 minerals.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the holding of the minerals. Um, but he did get lucky here
Okay,
and managed to
he's
still
buying
hold.
something. Let me click a look. Liberators. Okay, this is not the worst thing to get at this unit stage. But if there's carrier switch, then that's gonna be a problem. So red is banking. Red has 1,000 minerals. So let's see what he's going up for, and let's see if the pink Protoss reacts fast enough to the switch. Okay, he's
Oh,
getting.
there is carriers being added in. Now, I think red would have been better off completely selling for carriers. But let's
Yes.
see if those carriers come out and they manage to do something.
I would sell quite a lot of the ground units. Maybe.
Oh,
Okay,
there
he's
we
selling.
go. Look, he is selling. He is selling right now.
Okay.
Let's see how this turns. This could be
The
a game
problem,
changer for the
the
top team.
problem could be that he may lose the planetary fortress to the immortals.
That is quite true.
Because the
For the Marauder.
Marauders gonna run forward, and the Liberator. Okay, let's see if there's anti-armor missile. Okay, he doesn't have energy. There's no +3, so basically if you do the carrier switch, you need at least +2.
Okay, so the one good thing though is that the Protoss wave has nothing to kill besides a few stalkers.
Yeah, and it clears
So
all of the Terran there.
there are 5. Yes, that was
There's enough
unfortunate.
infestors to do the microbial shroud and protect against carriers. Let's see if they manage to do that. The fungal itself is not gonna cut it. There really needs the microbial shroud here.
Oh, there's a Broodlord from Silent Storm.
Yes.
I'm not sure how I
Okay.
feel about that Broodlord.
Okay, all the carriers died. Okay, that's now the Pink Protoss has time to adjust and get Void Race out. And sell Immortals, obviously. Okay, there's Void Race. Sell the Immortals. He probably needed to keep the
Oh
Stalkers
wow,
and get the Sentry.
Richter completely sold for Void Rays.
Akira
Let's
needs
see how
Doors.
this...
Akira needs Doors to help out with the carriers. And anti-armor missile if possible, just to save, turn off the Ravens. And okay, let's see what's going on. There's no armor. Ah, there is armor. There's armor on Void Rays. Let's see if it's gonna be enough.
Is that enough? I don't think that's enough.
I think it is.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is enough. Okay, what
Barely. Barely.
That was a good sell, though.
But now
That
the
was a good
Immortals are
sell.
not clearing the siege tanks.
You are right.
And the Hydralisks
is...
are just shredded by those tanks. Okay, there's a Broodlord that's gonna help out with those splash damages. Okay.
The problem with those that Broodlord though is once Shiz gets some Thors, that
There's
Broodlord's
no
just gonna
sieges on
end.
Libs. Oh,
Oh no!
he lost all of his Liberators except one.
Okay, well he still has his ground army for right now, so he's still okay.
Okay. Really, we need Thors from Akira. We really need Thors here. Marine still has 0 armor. 0 upgrades.
Now the carrier still only has 1+1.
Yes, that's unfortunate. Because the Voiders are +2.
And I'm not sure about the 4 Phoenix. I feel like another carrier or upgrades would have been better here. I am very impressed by the bottom team's play though this game.
Yes, they did way better in the previous game. And even with a little bit, like barely less favored matchup, I would say.
Yeah, they actually had the... I do feel like the top team did have the slight matchup advantage here.
Yes, because it was Protoss versus Protoss, so with the Stalkers to blink back and PT stack after that. But some mistakes were made then.
Yeah, I did notice that Silent Storm is much more spread out this game. As far as units, like he doesn't have 2 clumps of units. And he's also stayed away from the Banelings this game. Which was making things difficult for him last game.
Okay, so Carrier is gonna stack with the Marines because Moira is gonna attack Marines.
Okay, so this is actually looking good for the top team for a little bit.
The planetary fortress is almost died. The only 14 HP is there, so I suspect the next wave. But there's these carriers that gonna help. Okay, it's kind of hard to comment.
This could be a potential. This could be a potential change with the Broodlord. Oh,
we need shroud. We need microbial shroud from infestors there. But the fungus gonna clear all the links.
So let's see.
Still no Thors. Still no Thors.
There's a lot of corruptors though. That is a lot of corruptors for the Terran. And there's 4 carriers still alive. And
yes, that's the problem with the carriers. And they have +2. And the corruptor is gonna stall the Vikings.
Okay, there's more. So those carriers are let's see if these carriers are enough. Is that enough carriers for those?
The problem with the Void Rays, they're Phoenix are not. Void Rays are not gonna clear the Phoenix.
So the Phoenix actually did turn out to be okay here. Let's see if the carriers can kill it off. Does the carriers still don't have 3 attack? Oh no.
With the 3 attack,
But
they
the
would clear
Marines are
this.
coming. Let's see if the Marines can clear this out. Now, this is not looking good for the bottom team. Oh no.
Yes, with T3, with a +3 carrier, they would kill that easily, that wave.
I think those Broodlords are not good here. What a
Broodlords
turnaround by the top team here.
Okay. This is very
Let's see
interesting.
if they can manage. Let's see if they can manage to keep that middle. We are 15 minutes in and the game has just turned around.
So in a key moment, Akir decided to take a second gas, so still no Thors, and I think this might
And
be
that is the cannon.
very,
What a
very
turnaround
costly.
of events here. I was not expecting that to happen. That was very nice by the top team.
Yes. So this is one thing what top in-house players have mentioned quite often, is that direct strike game you can separate in stages. You have early stage, mid stage, and late game. Like early game, mid game, and late game. And when you know the openers and you know that you need to keep the middle, it's very crucial skill to know how you need to close out the game. It's like what kind of units you need to get, upgrade sequences, what kind of units you need to avoid, which is critical. You need some specific units to avoid when you're trying to close out the game. And lack of experience sometimes may be the reason why people don't know how to properly close out the game. And I think this was one of the good cases here because second gas in a critical moment, no
Look at all
Thors.
those Banelings hitting the Nexus here.
Yes, but the Void is gonna stuck at the planetary, at the Nexus. So this
Yeah,
was
so this will
this
be
was
a turn.
the
Let's see if there's enough air here by red.
there's +3, no +3 on Void Race.
Okay,
Yeah, it's very close. Okay.
let's see
There's
what
no
happens.
Mutalisks in front. Really need Mutalisks in front from Southstern. Need to
Yeah,
get
it's
rid of
not
those
killing it
Broodlords.
fast
The
enough.
Broodlords is a problem.
Yeah, I mean the thing too about the Broodlords or any unit in the when you reach tier 3 is when you're spending almost 400 minerals on a unit, and you buy two of them,
Yeah, they
it
better
could have
have
been
to
a
do damage.
yeah.
But Broodlords is not the unit that does
Oh, we do
damage.
have an invisible lurker here up top by Silent Storm that is not being scanned.
I don't think it's gonna be a.
Are we gonna see a
Wait,
turnaround right
wait,
here
wait, wait.
again? There,
What are we
so the
seeing in this
bottom
game?
team did manage to take middle back. Let's see if they can
And
hold it
there's a lot
again.
of Vikings that gonna help with 3-3. And there's Phoenix, there's High Templars. Really
What
would
an
nice to see
exciting
a
game here.
would nice to see a sentry from Rickster. What is this game? Like that's why I
What
love
an
tournaments that we
exciting
have.
game.
Like that's why I love tournaments when we have even match teams, like even strength teams. This is what we usually see. It's not the highest meta, but definitely it's enjoyable to see.
It's definitely good. It's exciting to watch people's different
Yes.
strategies and how they react to the opposite team.
Okay, let's see if we can see any. No, Torch, just Liberators. Okay, if it brings the game to the end.
Okay, let's see what happens here now. Silent Storm again with his
The
invisible lurker there.
the problem with getting more Liberators is then comes Protoss with no ground units, so you don't need Libs there. You just need Tors, just Tors. Forget everything else. 20 minutes in the
Yes,
game, just Tors on the end of
Thor's
the
would
game.
definitely seal the deal here.
Just
Thor's
Tors
would just
until the end
wreck
of the
this
day.
wave. Now, what are these High Templars?
For feedback and Storm. It's a lot of Phoenix there before, right?
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He really needs a Sentry. Sentry would really help to minimize the carrier DPS there. Yeah.
Okay, so now the Void Rays are doing massive damage on this wave.
Basically, they don't need to do any damage because what they do, they separate the Tyrant wave. So ground units, Marauder tank moves forward, air units stay behind, and then Zerg clears one by one. Just okay, let's clear the ground units first, and after that, anti-air units.
I love that both teams are not giving up here.
Yes, I love that we don't see a second gas on the bottom team. I think they get their pants needs to be changed after that push. When they get second gas and they get pushed very hard. But I'm very happy that they didn't get in like full panic, and I didn't get like in full panic, and they're like, okay, let's stay calm, let's get the correct units. But yes, we need Tors,
The
we need
thing that we
Tors.
could see here, though, depending on how quickly this wave comes out, is that we could see a potential stack again. Okay,
Yes,
so three carriers did survive here,
I'm
and
not
that
I'm
is,
not sure why Sandstorm is putting all his Vipers on one side. It makes I don't understand really why. What's the reason behind it? Because it's not gonna help with
yeah, and
the.
he did just use a um blinding cloud on no ground unit, so that might be an issue. Now the top team still has a tank. Okay, okay,
And
so far they
Akira really
still.
needs upgrades. He still has 21 minutes to gain plus 0 attacking Marines. Like, you can
He does
just
have
sell them.
3-3 on air,
Yes, you can
so
just sell the bio if you're not upgrading. It's no point because all the opponent unit has armor like plus 2 and at least plus 2, so it really doesn't make any sense. Okay, we have a bit of a lag spike. It would be unfortunate to lose the game to the somebody dropping. But
okay, we are still experiencing that lag spike.
Game paused.
so sometimes when I was playing with the laptop myself, sometimes I forgot to plug in the charger, and in 20 minutes of intensive gaming, my battery runs low and my computer starts throttling. So basically, it just drops the frames to the zero. So it could be an issue here that one of the teams are playing on a laptop and they forget the charger and the computer's dying. Okay. Uh, okay. Then it would be very unfortunate if somebody just drops it just because the charger is not there. Okay.
Game resumed.
Okay, so the lag does seem to have disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Now we do have Shiz coming out with 3 Thors. I'm not sure if it'll be enough.
So he should use the yoinking on the door. He's not using the yoink. No fishing is happening. Not sure why. What's the purpose of Vipers? Yeah, the lurkers are not scanned and shredding all the ground there. The crafters could be a problem if there's no widow mines, no cyclones, and 0-0 marines. Okay,
Oh, there's a mothership from Rickster here.
there's a BM mothership. To be honest, actually, the time warp is pretty good on the ground units. So if he drops it there, then it stalls half the wave there. Especially, it's good on like a unit like Thor or Marine. There's a small stack with 2 carriers, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Sandstorm doesn't really need the Corruptors. He just needs to pull the get some links and pull the Thors into the Hydralisk range.
Now with enough Thors and
Ghosts are not scanned.
with enough Thors and tanks from purple, and if Silent Storm keeps making the brood lines, they could eventually start pushing back again.
Yes. Well, the T4 is gonna seal the deal, I think, for the. Yeah, still no Tors. Really, Akira really needs Tors. Tors here. The problem is he needs to close out the game. That's the thing that I mentioned about experience in late game, how to close out and win and seal the victory. Without Thors, he's not helping his teammate, and his teammate is just fighting. And basically the problem is he's not gonna have enough time before the team reinforces. So you need Thors to help to clear out at least part of it. So Rixer has easier time to clear this out. So there's no stacking. But basically Akira skipping Thors is making sure, or not making sure. Basically it's opening an opportunity for the defending team to start stacking here. And those corruptors are not helping from Silent Storm. You could benefit from Mutalisks rather, because Mutalisks have double purpose seed, they can clear the ground as well. Okay, there's 2 Thors stacking. +3 on Marines finally. There's no scan on the Lurkers, so Lurkers are shredding those Marines to the pieces. There's gonna be a smash burger out of those. There's carriers and +3 from Rixer to seal the deal. I like the carriers, that's a thing that you do after you have enough void rays. You just add your carriers yourself, and there's no +3 armor on the carriers, so this is gonna be a good deal to seal the deal. Six Broodlords. I don't like what I'm seeing. The Broodlords are gonna be dangerous unit to have here. We have 6 Thors. I would love to see some Ultralisks actually here already. Side Ultralisk to help to charge into the kill the Thors, but if the Reptok manages to yoink the Thors back, it's gonna be a devastating damage and they can stack easily.
Okay, so we have 3 Thors here.
Yes, the bio is 3-3 finally, so I don't think it's gonna matter. And there's Widow Mines as well, to seal the deal versus Corruptors. So it's nice to see that Akira has paid attention to the previous streams and that he has paid attention to the answers that we gave about what counters what. So Widow Mine is a very good unit to have versus Corruptors and Phoenix kind of a unit. So it's nice to see that he's adding, but he really needs those Thors there. We have second gas from almost everybody except Purple. Thors are 3-3, Bio is 3-3. We have first Ultralisk as well, very good. Okay, not all the Thors are in okay. 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 Yeah, at this point, I don't really see the bottom team as a way how they come back in the game. This could actually be one of the games where we see 14-minute game, just because we don't see any Thors that could help to close out the game. And yeah, we'll see. That would be exciting to see. Like, I like 40-minute match. Like in the previous fun tournament, we had a game where 7 mineral victory was sealed by one of the teams, which is yeah, it's insanely close. Okay. There's still no yoink on those Vipers. How many Vipers he has? He has 3 Vipers. Would be good to see the yoinking. Liberators are not sieged. They're kind of dead weight.
And now Red comes out with his own mothership.
one thing about Protoss carrier switch, it has to work out pretty much immediately in the same wave or one wave later.
You know what
Before
I did
the
notice about the carrier switch too that I've been trying to figure out is that he was not fully back when he switched over. Um, so the purple's wave was barely catching up to him, and they were carriers were dying before that. I think if he was full back, the stack actually would have worked better as well.
yes, the idea with carriers is the same as it is with liberators and broodlords, right?
Yes. But the bottom team is making sure that they keep scanning and they keep doing what they need to do.
Except Thors and anti-armor. So okay, just to give clarification, what Terran should do in the late game. So Terran should start getting Thors versus air units, Liberators versus ground units, and start to have anti-armor Ravens spread it out so they can anti-armor the following wave and make the life easier for the next one. So basically you just help out the next wave, next wave, next wave, so everybody thinks one wave ahead already. That's how you close out the late game. And you skip the units that makes opponents stack, like Broodlords and Medivacs, and yeah, you just get DPS and you get like the key units. Thors and Ravens from Terran with Liberators. You get Mutalisk Viper Corruptor from the Zerg with Lurkers and Ultralisk, and you get Carrier Disruptor from Protoss as a closeout unit. Sometimes you don't even need carriers. Just go Voiders. There's a sneaky DT versus all air prots. Well, it could actually kill those head. Nah, it got lifted up. This is Storm Coast for some reason. Yeah, I would really love to see just selling of those Broodlords and getting Viper and Linkbane and Ultralisk. And yeah, I'm not sure why Akira is skipping Thors. Like maybe he has a challenge. Okay, let's win the game without Thors. That would be pretty fun. Like I would play that game. Okay, there's no scan on those lurkers. There comes disruptors to help to clear out the ground. Actually, this is pretty good because it's gonna help us save up the planetary. But the problem is here, there is no really way to come back in this game. This is a slow death. So I'm excited to see the game 3. Unless the bottom team decides to sell out their units, I don't think there's possible for them to lose at this stage when the 32 minutes. So it's double tier 4 already at 25 and 30 minute mark, and we're gonna see another 135. They have enough income. So this could be a 40-minute game. Since we don't see any Ultralisk Thors.
So it does look like Silent Storm did add in another brood.
Yes, if Yellow had Mutalisks on front and Vipers, he could pull back some of the key units as well to help out with the stack, but it's not happening. Oh, the Widowmancer, devastating. So yeah, this is definitely very interesting game. This is definitely a highlight game of the things that happened here. It was just something. Like how many pushes back and forth we had? We had I think at least 3.
Yeah, this was definitely a different kind of game from last game that we just watched.
Yes. It reminded a bit of 1 versus 1 games when there's stack versus stack, stack versus stack, pushbacks.
Yeah, those are always the best kinds of games, though.
Yes, they're more interesting to see. So let me give a quick look what's happening here in the chat. We have Pax here, hey Pax. We have Tris. We have our caster here. We have Ash. Hey guys. So this is best of 3, yeah. Tempest, Thor, and a Dream. So one thing I would like to mention is why anti-armor miss is so critical, is that Vikings do 2 damage, they have double attack. So if you have anti-armor and you get -3 armor on the units, so it's basically additional 6 damage. It's additional 6 damage, more Vikings from Akira. So it's additional 6 damage, and it's versus armor 17 plus 6, versus 17 plus 3, and the weapon speed is already pretty low. So it's significant amount of extra damage that anti-armor missile can provide, just to help out to clear the stacks faster, because you are on a timer there. So we have 35-minute mark coming in. We have, let's see who has ready. Nobody has minerals ready. So I think everybody forgot that every 5 minutes the tier 4 is happening for the upgrade. Let's see who upgrades first. Okay, we see Sandstorm is the first one upgrading. So what do you think, Monkey? Are we gonna see 40-minute game? Or the game's gonna close out before that?
I think we are going to see a 40-minute game here. With Akira only having mostly Vikings to clear, the Vikings will probably never get past the the carriers. And neither will their ground units. Even in this case, the Red's army is managing to hold Richter off, and because Shiz has a lot of Thor, the only other option I see at this point, to be completely honest with you, is a complete turnaround at the very last minute. Like, if we do see a complete turnaround, I could see the top team killing the bottom team. Like, they're, killing their nexus. But with the bottom team's unit comps, it's more so for stacking and for holding off purposes. There's not a lot of units that that do a lot of heavy damage to the planetary fortress. That can get through their armies. So I think it's either going to be a 40-minute game or some magnificent comeback by the top team.
Yes, I agree. Currently, my frames have dropped down to 29, 28-ish from 200. I think I need to turn up the overclocks on the CPU.
I'm at 22 right now.
Yeah. Well, I have double stream open.
Yeah, I have
So,
3 streams open right now.
so well, you're not streaming.
Yeah.
But
I'm watching
my
his stream.
CPU is at default frequency, so I could probably, for these long games, I need to crank it up a bit.
But actually, 40 is not too bad right now.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, at least you can see the units.
See, like here, there is a massive amount of Thorus here, which prevents anything from hitting their planetary fortress. It would be completely difficult. Now, even here, like, okay, could this be an unexpected? Wow, okay, I was totally wrong. I was not expecting Corruptus to just completely fly over and hit that planetary fortress, but congratulations to the bottom team for taking this second match here.
Yes. Very, very interesting
Very,
game.
very impressive play there. Big improvement from the previous game. Now I'm excited to watch the third game here. So hold on and let us prepare that match for you.
Yes. So I'm looking at the bases currently. What the people had. So basically, Akira has 0 Thors. He has 3 lines of Vikings, while Shiz has 3 lines of Thors. So basically, all the Thors that were in the game, she's stole from Akira. Yeah. So we have a victory screen as well here. It interesting. Like, it's like maybe they have like a strategy in the sleeve what they're gonna pull off. Like
Well, if you think about it this way, um, some people are set in the way they build, so maybe they have like a specific comeback strategy for one of the opponents. where they like will take advantage of a mass amount of immortals or a zealot opener. Let's just see what happens here. This is going to be exciting.
Well, one way how they could do it actually here is that they go mass queen medivac kind of a build. So basically, liberators, queens, medivacs, and just stack for days,
So
and
we have
that's how
Kill
they
Me
kill.
Not with opening roaches versus Protoss.
Yes, I'm not a big fan of roaches versus protoss, and there is very
Okay,
strong
let's see
reasoning
who
why.
wins this. Let's see here.
Marauder Reaper should clear this out.
Interesting choice of starting units here. And that one Marauder will secure the middle for a few seconds.
Yeah, I don't know about roaches. The thing about roach is that it has armor. It's armoring, so it takes extra damage versus stalker, and it already is. And zealots are already good versus any of the Zerg units besides banelings.
Okay, so we have a Queen opener here, which is not usually an opener for a ZVZ match. Um, but usually Banelings are also not an opener for a ZVZ match. So I'm excited to see what happens there actually.
So Shades is doing kind of a rightish thing about Reaper Marauder, but in this situation I would be more just on the Reaper in the back.
I also think his positioning is kind of in an odd formation,
Some
which could
more
be
roaches, an additional queen.
okay.
Well, the queens are gonna transfuse. There's no... Okay, there's a +1 on zealots. If they're armor, no armor, so they're getting shredded by those zealots. Okay, there's a catch up with the queen roach.
And we have more roaches.
Okay, they're trying to utilize the stacking. You see, orange is full back, Kilmat is full back, and red is full front. They're trying to catch each other. So I think this is one of the specific strategies that we are talking about. But orange really needed armor there if he wanted to stack. There's no armor, so zealots do extra damage where they're not supposed to do damage. Okay, let's see if they have any marines. No marines, so the mutalisks are gonna have a field day here. Just chugging away unit by unit.
Interestingly enough, though, it still cleared the Terran wave for the most part.
Because there's a leak from roaches. Okay, Mutalisk is gonna stall the queens. And Zealot Stalker is gonna clear out the roaches, then Zealots clear out the queens, yeah. Are there armored? No armor.
Okay, so Repto did add in some Hydralisk.
Okay,
And there is a couple of queens that may survive here.
I like Repto's build. I like Repto's build.
Yeah,
Roach gonna
it's
tank
actually
their... okay. This is very bad for Silencer.
yes, this is actually looking. Repto's doing a really good job in the ZVZ match.
Yes.
Interestingly, so with the queen start.
Well, additional thing what really helps them out is that Protoss cannot blink back, just in case if the turn loses his wave.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, let's see. Okay, is there gonna be armor? Okay, Killmod for this kind of a build really needs armor there, so he can take the zealot shots a bit longer.
I think Kill Me Not's actually gonna stack here.
Yes, and he's gonna take those baneling shots and gonna take those mutalisks on the queens, so double Zerg is working out.
Yeah. So the thing about this the matchups here is that for some people they do play one race stronger than the other. So it could be potentially be something like that, or it could be there's all different reasons why people choose a certain matchup. Um, and it seems to be working out for them right now.
It's definitely important to know how to play all three matchups, even if you have like one favorite. You definitely need to understand how the other races work, so you have a better chance with your own race. So basically,
Yeah.
if you have only played Protoss for all your life, and you don't know how Zerg mechanics work, you're gonna be worse Protoss just because of that, since you cannot utilize specific nuances. I think the queens are gonna be still enough to clear out everything here. Still no armor. Okay, we have +2, +2 on Hydralisks. We have
I think that is way too many banelings from Silent Storm.
yes, and
For a
there's no need
2v2
for
match.
Infestor there. I'd like to see like just one lurker to force out the scans and have extra damage on that bio. Sheer is putting his units in very spread out way, like he would be against Fungal or he would be against Disruptor. But in TVT, basically what you want to do, you want to get your units all clumped up as close as you can, so you have like a
I'm actually
punch wave.
curious to see if Rickster will have a chance here, because there are a lot of, I guess, Orange has too many units here.
He needs Disruptors. If he would have like 3 Disruptors there, he could kill all the Hydralisks and Infestor, and then everything else clears out the queens.
Yeah, the banelings for a Zerg, a
Yeah.
pre-Zerg with a follow-up Zerg
There's a
is
lurker, but on
devastating.
the wrong side.
Yeah.
Basically, a pushing team could benefit from lurker, but defending team doesn't benefit from lurker in this situation. Either they have to go mass lurker, but not just single lurker. Okay, we see Medivacs. This is a big kind of no unit when you're pushing, but since you have double Zerg teammates, then it's not so bad unit to have. Usually better when defending.
The thing about double Zerg is some people actually don't know how to handle the double Zerg stack,
Mhm.
which can be a struggle for some teams.
Yes, because you need to have a bit of a
He does
different
have a
units.
disruptor. Let's see if
It's shot
he
already.
can manage to.
It's shot already.
Yeah, I was hoping he could get off a second shot, but
It's not gonna be enough anyway. It's gonna kill that one infestor and that's it. So one thing that I need to mention is that okay, there's a shroud, but the one thing is that double Zerg is way weaker against Protoss and are way weaker against like specific switches like Liberator and Carrier switch. So we already saw a Carrier switch in the previous game. Let's see if the, for example, top team decides to do something similar, but basically I would see only Lib switch working here properly. Because screens and highlights, there's a lot of anti-air that could deal a lot of damage to carrier. But problem with Liberator is not a problem, but the benefit of Liberator is they have superior range.
it does seem like right now the double Zerg was a good idea for the bottom team. And we do have the invisible lurkers again that are not being scanned.
Okay, he's holding immortals, sorry, disruptors, but it's better if he was not really decisive. So if he needed to shoot it this way, he needed to shoot it right away. So to have a chance to save some Archons and immortals. Okay, nobody is overexcited with the gases, except just as I have caster curse. Just as I mentioned, orange goes. All right, let's go for the second one. So before he gets the second one, he probably needs to make sure that they are like they actually are in pretty comfortable position here. So the second gas maybe is even okay, but just to be super safe, it's a good idea to scan enemy opponent, and if you see that there's no gas, just stay on one gas and close the game. There's no need to go second gas because it just opens opportunity for opponent to turn you around in the key waves.
Yeah, the top team does seem to really want to push back. They have no gas right now. As in previous games where they would gas right away when someone's bunker goes down. They are holding off on that right now. I think they have seen the potential to come back after building a stack on their side.
Have 3 siege tanks at the planetary fortress with the help of detection of planetary.
I have to completely agree with you on the lib switch though. I think a lib switch at this point, when they are sitting at their planetary fortress, would be a great idea. Especially with queens and
Ghosts.
Yes.
So this is what I mean about the scan and timing. So they are scanning anyway. So it's you need to scan either sooner or don't scan at all if you're. But they pretty much, yeah. It's kind of the being aware of the situation, and we understand. Okay, you need to build your units. You need to look at your power field. But you have to be aware of what's going on in the game all the time. So basically, the best players in the game, they just switch around like army units, army units, army units, army units all the time. Like
Yes.
building micro, building
And
micro, building micro.
the thing about it too is that Richter does not have any detection of his own, which means he would have to pay attention even more. So, but they did scan there, so the tanks did not move. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Siege tanks is not the worst thing to have as a stacking unit actually. It's versus double Zerg and on bio it's a decent have. But the turn has to be full back with the siege tanks. This position what they're currently in, it doesn't not gonna work.
Yeah, and the biggest issue from the start of the game for this team is all three of them have been fully front since the start of the game.
Well, Protoss was Zealots, right? So it doesn't make sense to have Protoss at the back. So it was okay to be full front, but they had to have correct units. Basically, you want to be in the back if there is, like in this scenario, like either all three are back or all three are front. There's no benefit of any of them being in the back because there's no stacking opportunity. So basically, they are going all in with the build.
Red has so many lurkers and roaches that lib switch would be so devastating for Zerg right now. And purple, which is his opponent's wave, has one line of Marines, which...
So there's now scan again. Immortals walk forward. Okay, there's this Raven. Okay, so at least Raven was as a detection unit.
Okay, so now we have 6 tanks. But unfortunately, we do have a lot of Banelings here. Let's see if they can still manage. And a lot of Swarm hosts by Silent Storm.
Yeah, the Swarm hosts are not gonna be a unit versus Lurker. Lurkers don't care about Swarm hosts.
Now the tanks do appear to be stacking. Will they scan though? There is a scan, a little late there. Yeah, and this is another situation again where the observer is so far back where the units in front cannot even see the lurker that's just hitting them.
That's about their openers. Like in a sense, like opener wise, I would love to see stalkers there first, and then if needed, you go zealots. That's way stronger opener versus Zerg than having zealots right from the bat. Having zealots right from the back is like Link Bane. It's very risky. It's powerful, but it's risky. Okay, we see planetary getting damaged. Two siege tanks are sitting behind the planetary, chilling and drinking Kool-Aid. No voiders to help with the liberators, so stalker is gonna be enough for now because liberators are not microed, so they have very short range where they're sitting. But eventually, this stalkers die out, and there's nothing that kills the air units. Okay, that was a decent-ish disruptor shot. Reminds me that one glorious disruptor shot with I saw from previous stage where disruptor went on the side and didn't kill anything, and then it died.
Okay, so we have 6 wormholes that are stacked on top team.
And 6 siege tanks. There's a scan. Very nice.
That is a lot of lurkers by Repto here. Repto does not want any of their ground units to get through.
Okay, Blood of Ghosts. We have some few liberators. So one thing, like one tip to the Terrans, like when the Terrans are asking, okay, how can I improve my gameplay? Having rapid fire on liberators and microing them every way is a complete game changer. Like if you compare like strength of the Terran with liberator micro versus no liberator micro, it's day and night. Like it's not even comparable.
Okay, so pink and red just went T3. So let's see what happens next.
Probably upgrades first. Yeah. So basically they need T3 upgrades and they need
so green needed to scan here
mass mutilus,
so that his tanks wouldn't move forward. But
planetary is getting hit by every wave.
Yeah, it does seem like it's slowly being chipped away here.
There's no scan on the side lurker, no observer as well. There's one happy lurker sitting on the sides and shooting everything down on the side. Lurker on the side is the most dangerous thing you can have because it does all the full range is utilized for the damage.
Yeah, no. One of the things I have noticed is that when people build their overseers or observers, they tend to like to put it directly in the middle, where it gets hit easily and also does not allow you to see the side. So like in, for any of the players who just normally use one, which I believe is actually all the players here have. Oh, okay, so orange does have 2, one on each side. But yeah, putting one observer on each side will allow them to see all the lurkers on the side. It's one of the biggest mistakes people make with the observers, and we'll force them to have to scan every single wave.
One nuance regarding detection against Zerg, especially detection against lurkers, is that usually overseer like range of the vision, detection vision range, is smaller than lurkers can shoot you at. And basically, even if you have observers or overseers in the corners, the middle, everywhere, they're gonna stack on a corruptor or a mutalisk or overseer, so then they're not gonna move forward, and the lurkers are not gonna detect it anyway.
So yeah, like in this case right here, where the overseers are just sitting back.
Yes, so basically versus lurkers, you have to scan anyway. Doesn't matter if you have or doesn't have regular detection, just because of the range issue. And there's no fix to it. There's no fix to it. You cannot fix it. It's just what it is. And versus lurkers, you just have to scan. There's no other option. You can get
We
away
have
with
been
like an
watching.
oracle. Like you can get away with like an oracle and throw revelation, but it's very tedious process. And if people are not microing disruptors and liberators, having an oracle micro is like next level, and nobody wants to do that.
So Akira decided to skip out on the libs this game and go for Thor's instead.
Yeah, he has a bit of a switcher. So in previous game he needed doors, in this game he needed libs. Well, he needs doors anyway here in this scenario. 20 minutes, of course. Like you need doors at 20-minute mark, like for sure. There's no even question if you need it or not.
Yeah, so aside from the tedious things that we're pointing out that could have been done better, we have seen both of these teams completely improve over the past week. So both teams are on their way to becoming stronger. So it's really nice to see here.
I'd love to see that Shiz is selling his medevacs because there's no need of them, and start getting towards here. And T3 range on the liberators. Does he has T3 upgrades? I don't. I think he's on T2, right?
Let me see Shiz.
Where's his worker?
I know he's hiding his
He's
worker.
T2. He's T2. So he really needs T3. He really needs T3 at 21-minute mark as the Terran. Usual normal timing is around 12 minutes, around 13 minutes when you need T3, just because of the upgrade advantage. Basically, the upgrade advantage, having T3 on bio and having like Liberator range, is such insane boost to your army that it doesn't make any sense of skipping, especially when you're pushing. Like there's like a small defensive argument factor that when you're defending and you really need those couple extra units just because you're fighting for the middle, and it's like on a hair, the game middle is on a hair, then it can benefit delaying like T3 for like 1 or 2 extra waves. But in general, 22-minute mark, you have to have T3, you have to have Liberator range, you have to have bio on the +3. It's just unquestionable things that you have to have.
Rickster loves his Colossus.
Yes, and disruptors as well.
All right, so we have the Planetary Fortress down to 107 HP. Can the bottom team secure the win here? Let's see what they can do.
I think the Corruptors are gonna kill it. Planetary Fortress is at 664 kills.
It sure is. MVP in this game.
If somebody can pull up the statistic of the Planetary Fortress kills and tell me which planetary killed the most units, I would give some internet respect points. 666, I saw it there. There are Torso Akira. Yes. Love to see the Brutal Liberator. Yeah, there's no scan for the siege tanks, so siege tanks are unsieging now. Which is unfortunate. They're just sieging and unsieging.
Yeah,
and in-house is going
Richter
on the
does
side.
not have. Yeah, I just got a message there too. But I did have to let them know that we do have tourney matches going on right now.
But it's good to know that Jabelcom is at least practicing.
Yeah, for sure. We have seen over this past week a lot of teams
Okay,
practicing.
I think this is it.
All right, let's see if they can secure the deal here.
Yes, Lurkers
And
connected with the
Corruptors
planetary.
have taken the game again for one of the teams.
Yes.
Good job. Well played, everyone.
GG, well played.
Congratulations on advancing to the next round, and hopefully the top team will come back again and keep